Alright folks, welcome back to the channel. Today's adventure starts right here at my campsite at Buck Pond Campground in Onchayota, New York. We are going out onto a trail off this campground called the Rail Trail, and on that trail there is an unmarked another trail that takes us up Little Haystack Mountain. I'm hoping we can find that trail. There is no trail map for it that I could find, so we're going to see if we can get up there today. If not, we'll be on the rail trail, so follow along. So before we get going, it is May and the Adirondack black flies are out in force right now. So the mosquitoes are thick, the black flies are thick. So we need to put on some protection for the ticks and the black flies, hopefully to keep them away. And something that I've had success with in the past, I'm going to use. But we are going to take a can of Deep Woods with me, and I found that this doesn't really work all that well. And neither does Repel at 40% DEET. And I had this homemade stuff given to me. It's called Bye Bye Buggy. It has lavender, eucalyptus, tea tree, peppermint, and lemongrass in it. And they say it keeps the black flies away. I'm going to take this with me to try it out. It's made by local. A friend of mine that I went to school with. She has a Facebook page called Perfect Sense by Becky. She has all sorts of stuff on there. She gave me this to try out to see how it will work against the Adirondack black flies. She thinks it will work well. But my old faithful that I'm going to be using is Vicks. I put Vicks on the last few years. I've been using this to keep the black flies away, and it seems to work. They will still fly around you, and they still fly under your eyes, and they still fly up your nose, and they fly into your mouth when you're talking, but you don't get bit up because you smell like methanol. And that's why you see a lot of people with those screens over there. That's not to keep them from biting, that's to keep them from flying into their face. But we're going to try this small enough where I can just put it right in my pocket. And the other spray that we're going to take is this one. Not that I think we're going to encounter any vicious bears, but it is mama and cub season right now. And you just never know. Usually, if you're not a threat, and you talk softly, and you back away from them, mama doesn't get it pissed off. But if you happen to stumble onto them on the trail, and mama gets a little irritated that you're too close, you may need it. So, now that I got the Vicks on, let's get out of here. Alright, so this trail is called the Coshaqua Rail Trail. As you see behind me, it goes, that's where we started back there, going forward, and it's a pretty good trail. This used to be a rail bed back in the past, and just like a lot of these old rail beds, they're just like spider legs throughout the entire Adirondacks. But a lot of them are now gone, and the rails are long gone, and many of these rail beds have turned into hiking trails and walking paths, and they're actually making a trail. Sections of it are now complete that is going to, I believe it's a paved trail that is going to go from Lake Placid all the way through down to Saranac, into Lake Clear to Tupper Lake, and it may go beyond. I think they want to take it all the way down to Old Forge, but I'm not sure. But they have sections of it that are now completed, and it would probably be cool if they had a couple of lean-tos on the trail where you could start at one end and go hike to the other. But I don't know how they're going to do it. But they do have certain areas completed. So if you want to check them out, it starts in Lake Placid, goes down to Saranac. Pretty cool trail. So I think we found the entrance to Little Haystack Mountain Trail. It is not marked. I could not find a trail map for this. So I'm not saying I'm an expert hiker, but we're going to see if there's any trail markers on here. And I will say that if I start to get a bad feeling on this, that we'll turn around and head back out. But here we go. So still on the trail to Little Haystack Mountain, and the small community that is nearby here called Onchayota is a Native American community. The Native American Museum is in Onchayota and not far from this Buck Pond campground. Onchayota means rainbow, which makes sense because Rainbow Lake is just down the road from Onchayota. But this area is so rich with history, not just Native American, but Lake Kushakwa is over this way. We were walking next to it on the rail trail, and that is where I did a video a couple years ago of Elizabeth Newcomb that built a tuberculosis sanitarium for women and children on the shores of Lake Kushakwa. And that back then it was the belief that the clear, cool, crisp mountain air was the best method to cure tuberculosis. Then when penicillin came out and that proved to be a better method, the sanitariums around here just withered away. And in 1972, the state bought the property and tore down all the buildings except for the church. The church still stands today, and it's privately owned. But back in the 1800s, this was a huge lumbering operation up here until 1903, when the great Adirondack forest fires happened. And then after that, it became a tourist destination for the wealthy city folk to come up here to hunt, to fish, to adventure out. And we're going to continue our adventure down this trail and see how we go. Well, there's a lot of mountains in the Adirondacks that are named Haystack. Little Haystack Mountain, I think there's one down near like Lake George, somewhere off in Interstate 87. But this one here is I was told, the trail is unmarked and it's hard to find. And unfortunately, I don't see the trail anymore. There is no trail map to find. I could not find a trail map for this trail. And I do believe we are, I don't know where the summit is, whether the summit's over here, but as you can see, I no longer see the trail anywhere. We just scurried up a rock ledge here behind me, over in there. And but I was warned that before I came here that the trail, you're going to lose the trail. It's not marked at all, and there's a possibility that you're going to lose the trail, and I did. So I know how to get back out. The trail is right there, but I am to this point here where I don't think I can go up to the right here, because it is I don't see any trail. I just see there's dead trees down, but I don't see any trail there. So I'm gonna look around here a little bit more just to see if I can pick it back up again. If you're new to hiking and you don't have a trail map, I don't recommend doing this. I'm not gonna put myself in a predicament that I gotta call for assistance, but because right here I know the trail behind me. But I said if I can't find the trail, I'm not going to do this. So I'm going to look a little bit more here. If I can't find it, we'll head back down. All right, so I turned around. I did say at the beginning of the video that I was going to navigate this trail until I couldn't see it anymore. The trail starts out nice and wide, then it gets narrow, and then you go over your first rock climb, and you can see where the trail is. Once I got over that rock climb, I could see where the trail is, so I kept going. But once I got to the next rock climb, you get over onto those rocks, I couldn't tell where the trail went over those rocks. There's trees down, so maybe there's some trees down that are blocking it. I don't know, and I didn't see it. So rule number one is, for me, and because I'm not an expert hiker by any stretch of the imagination, I do have my gear with me in case something happens. And I did tell people where I was going to be and what I was going to attempt. And I did mention that I don't have a trail map. I'm just going to see if this trail is there. It's not marked anywhere. It's not on all trails. So how you get in trouble is that you're going to, if I went exploring off into the side trails, side woods here, and trying to pick up that trail, looking around, and then couldn't find it, and then come back and I can't find where the main trail is, you're in trouble. So that's why I wasn't going to wander too far away from this main trail. I feel bad when I can't complete it. I wanted to get up there because it is a nice day, and mosquitoes are flying all around me, but the Vicks is keeping them at bay. I haven't been bitten up. A couple bites, yes, but nothing close to with all the mosquitoes flying around. But anyways, that was my attempt to get up Little Haystack Mountain. I lost the trail in there, and I couldn't pick it up. I didn't know, and I'm kind of wondering now as I think back, there was a tree down, and I wonder if I looked on the other side of that tree, if the trail would have been there. It's a possibility, but to get around that tree, I would have had to gone quite a ways over and climb up around some other rocks and then try to work my way back, and that's how you get lost. So I apologize for not completing it, but I'm not going to put myself in peril either for it, and we're just going to have a nice walk back down to my site, and then we'll have to go find my next adventure. All right, folks, you watched all the way through. Thanks for that. If you liked the video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, click the subscribe button down below. Continue to follow the adventure. And remember, folks, tomorrow is no guarantee for any one of us. So disconnect from that Wi-Fi, connect to this out here. You won't be disappointed.